What is up, guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. This is going to be the C9FanCast Season 2, Episode 2. We had a pretty big week for League of Legends. The LEC 2021 Spring Split Week 2 just finished. We had the LCS 2021 lock-in, which just completed. And now we will be on to the LCS 2021 Spring Split. And hopefully Cloud9 can win. But tonight, I'm joined here by Hey, I'm S and Weather. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. How about you?
I just woke up after watching some porn, so, you know. All right, Weather, how you doing?
Good. Good.
just good. All right, so Weather, I have to ask you, since you wanted me to talk about this when we first started. So apparently, guys, today when I was watching the Academy games, just to have something in the background as I was editing some videos for my other channel, Pobelter was actually on CLG's Academy team. That's interesting.
Yeah. It was first Wild Turtle went on I Will Dominate Thorn show and said that he was benched because he disagreed with the coaching staff, aka behavioral issues.
What?
And so now they're playing LS Prodigy RGS.
Okay, so people don't know you actually, because you've been kind of MIA for a little bit. You're actually a CLG fan, actually.
Used to be. No, not
no
anymore.
longer.
Okay, so no.
Explain to the viewers that are gonna watch this or hear this when they're at work or they're at home. Why did you choose to leave CLG and not be their fan anymore?
Same old. The upper management. I mean, when you put people who don't know about League in positions of general management, building the roster, it just gets old. I mean, why do we get Broxa? Why did we get Finn? I understand both these players are at Worlds, but why? And then Perks came over and I was like, oh, okie dokie. Adios, amigos.
Oh my god. It's like you knew the house was on fire, and before you could actually see a way out, you were just waiting for that, and then the moment you saw the way out, you're like, okay, I'm jumping out the window. I'm just going for it. Alright. So them benching Pobelter, because people have the CLG fans that I do see on their Twitter account and in their Discord group and on their Reddit, they seem to think that Pobelter is CLG's best player. And I mean, it depends. I haven't seen Finn or Broxa play yet, but I have seen Wild Turtle and Smoothie play. Wild Turtle didn't play that bad for the lock-in tournament. He didn't play that bad, you know? I think if we're comparing Pobelter and Wild Turtle, I mean, Pobelter had a lot of really int games. Those were games he were just randomly TPing in, dying, but to be fair, that's what a locking tournament is supposed to do. Like the Kespa Cup and the Demacia Cup. You use these tournaments to, work on all your kinks, and then you use that to improve on. You don't use that and go, well, this player fucking trash. Let's just remove him. Because even Cloud9, even though they had a lot of issues with Fudge, credit to them, they are not removing him. They're choosing to work on it. And I even said in, the last night's show, I will call out his bad play, but, he can improve in the future. That's something that can happen. But they're not even giving that same chance to Pobelter. They're like, okay, you're fucking terrible. Let's get a new guy in here. And let's be honest here. If Pobelter was not on CLG, last year, I don't know, they might have been, fucking 0-18, Just being honest here. They might... Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, they had Crown, and then that didn't work out. And he was Pobelter sitting there coaching Team Liquid, who was dead last. And CLG was like, hey, you want to come play mid? And the rest is history. I mean, it's just...
Dude, the thing is, we know everyone on CLG, man. They're all just kind of washed.
No,
I think Finn, I don't think Finn's washed.
I can't judge Finn because Finn was really good to a certain point. Not really, more or less, so maybe a 6 out of 10. Yeah, average player. He did play Kled and certain carries really well during the. It was the split where G2 beat Fnatic 3-0 with Kog'Maw with Caps ADC. He was playing decently well in that.
So
split.
Spring.
Spring
the thing is,
LEC 2020
Yeah.
spring. Yeah, he did
the
fine.
thing is, though, 4 out of 5 players, we kind of know their skill ceiling.
Yeah, Broxa was almost the worst jungler last year. Like, oh my, he single like because you see now with Santorin, they're a completely different team. Like, there was the game, remember, where he was playing Graves and he did like nothing. I was like, what the flying fuck? That's
at Worlds, yeah.
dude, that's the same grades I have. That's the same grades I have in my solo queue games. Just start the game, farm simulator. We don't see his ass for like 30 minutes in the game. Game's already fucking over. We lost all our turrets, all our objectives. We're like, hey man, you gonna provide any ganks? He's like, no man, you guys lost your lanes on your own. Oh yeah, okay, all right. So you just play a role and don't do anything. Sounds like Broxa. Oh my god. But overall for CLG, I mean, I think they'll probably be better than the other two worst teams, which is probably going to be like Immortals and Golden Guardians. But you know, that's not saying much, and they could realistically get 10th. I mean, you know, let's be honest here. And what for me had them at 8th place going into the 2021 LCS Spring Split was Pobelter. That was the X factor. Go, okay, he's better than these other two worst teams mid laners in terms of like a Blaze Olive and a Morals mid laner Insanity. Pobelter is a bit better than them, so I was like, okay, that edge is gonna be a little bit more to pretty much put them in 8th place, right? Without him, it's like they might as well be 10th place then, because like Smoothie hasn't been good for a while. I mean, like Finn is okay, he can barely play Malphite. Broxa is non-existent. So you essentially you're at a 3v5, and then Wild Turtle.
He's a good guy though.
He's a good guy.
Talking about Broxa, he's a good guy. So you know,
if you're a good guy, that'll excuse you from bad gameplay. I'll tell you that right now. If you're
the
a
thing
nice
is,
dude,
I have no idea how Smoothie fell off so hard. He really did fall.
He went to Echo Fox, and then fucking his brain collapsed. That's pretty much all it was.
Hey, we're blaming on Echo Fox.
I mean, how much of that was sneaky then, when you really think about it? Because he was only really good when he was just sneaky. You could say Sven Smoothie was okay, but besides that,
I don't know. Maybe
been average.
Some players just peak at certain moments. Some players just only do well on specific patches at specific moments. That's just how sometimes it goes. That's with any sport. I know you watch like basketball and football. You know, like you have one player who's kind of bad most of his career, then he has that one season where he like breaks out. You know what I mean?
Oh, TJ Warren, bro. TJ Warren.
Yeah.
He was a superstar.
Yeah, something like that. Like Smoothie did really well for a little bit of time. He got really close to winning. It's crazy though. He's gotten close to winning splits before. The reason why he doesn't translate over is because I think he's nothing like how Core JJ used to be. Well, sorry, I used to be like last year and now is like this year, obviously. Like take the culmination of Core JJ and Vulcan.
Hi guys, by the way.
Hello, Warren.
Hey, Warren.
That is what Smoothie used to be to a certain extent, and somehow maybe he got like he was not confident in his abilities. He might have probably thought that, you know, he couldn't do it anymore because like he got reverse swept by Team Liquid. His mid laner doesn't press Zanya's in a fucking finals and they lose against TSM. Like how more unlucky can you get? And then what's weird is that he joined the organization that beat him from his first title, and then he ended up getting reverse swept by a player that was supposed to be on his roster. How? The same guy who didn't press Zonya's is the same guy who beat him in the reverse sweep. I love how these things just correlate and come all back together. But I've met Smoothie at the LCS. He's a really nice guy. We talked before. I just don't know like what's been going on with his gameplay. You know, he used to be like Vulcan at that level. I think he was one of the, you know, considerations for Cloud9 if they couldn't get Vulcan. So, you know,
TSM and Echo Fox together got him.
Oh my god. This guy.
I mean,
this guy's terrible, man.
You say he's a nice guy. I mean, is CLG just a bunch of nice guys? Is that what CLG is?
Dude,
you're the ones.
Dude, I had a
before CLG starts a game. Oh, sorry,
I had a full-blown conversation with Weldon at the LCS. We talked for a good 25 minutes. Bro, that guy could have sold me a new fucking house that looked like straight up shit outside. If you tell.
That's what Dom said.
Bro,
Dom
Weldon is.
salesman.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Wither. What you want to say?
Oh, I was gonna say CLG's the team that before LCS games, they're like LCS Game 5. They put in all chat GLHF. We're just here to have fun.
We don't know how we got to this game 5 against in the World Finals against Damwon, but hey, good luck, have fun. Fucking over here, Broxel will instant pick fucking like your jungle or some shit. Just run it down, digging his own grave.
CLG though, scrums.
Well, no. I know people in CLG, so I have to be biased to these people. They'll turn it around. You guys believe me? They will turn it around.
In 10 years?
You have the faith? Do you have the faith?
They'll turn it around when they fire your buddies.
I think CLG is like a budget EU team, but they're using like they're trying to like save money because like to me it's kind of weird like how you were like pretty high within like the 2016 and now like you can barely afford like nobody really wants to play for you except like people that are just they played dog on the other teams. Like, oh yeah, we'll take Broxah because you played dog. We'll take Donkey Finn because he played like asinine. Like it's like this like the dumping yard for people that are just like not good. Like pole belter, you're not good. We're gonna get Jensen. Bye. It's like if you see the trend here. Like that's how I feel.
I figured it out, man. You remember how Rox Tigers were thought to be misfits? They think they're Rox Tigers or some shit.
It might be because
it
might be because like they probably realize even if they did spend that much money, they just don't really have the infrastructure to compete with like Team Liquid now, Cloud9,
but they do.
and 100 Thieves.
No, they're broke. CLG's damn near broke over here.
They're not broke though.
I don't know. I don't want to talk financials, but I mean, like, let's be honest here. Could they really compete with Team Liquid, Cloud9, and TSM? Even not even
yes.
TSM. 100 Thieves?
No.
Even 100 Thieves?
Stop.
No.
What are you smoking?
Even
who has a gun
Thieves?
to your head tonight?
No, here, like,
Right.
look, like that's what made me so frustrated as a former CLG fan. You looked at the team; they were the first team or the second team with the training facility, right? I mean, they were right there. They had the infrastructure. I think they're probably spending decent. Their salaries are probably decent, and then it's just the management doesn't understand what makes a good team, what makes a good coaching staff. It just blows my mind.
Do you hear the keywords? Former.
Exactly.
Oh yes, I've lost all faith in the org. Yes, no more faith. The faith has run out.
The faith has run out. It's like a faucet of water.
Like,
it just runs
like,
out.
If like to me, like I grew up. I didn't grow up. I just happened to like saw TSM and like it showed up in my recommended in like 2017. It was like end of 2016, 2017. I started watching them, and as much as they've got like bad limelight with Lena, it's because there's a lot of in the whole Kabe thing. They're still getting people. They're still affording people. Like, I mean, they got Sword Art, but to me, it starts like.
Well,
I've been noticing?
To answer that, TSM's been proven to win though. That's different though. Remember, TSM's been winning throughout the years. CLG's only won a few times.
TSM's the defending champions of the LCS.
I was gonna transition to something where, like, if you notice in sports, and I think soon you're gonna start seeing general managers start being players, because a lot of general managers like Walden don't know what they don't see the talent, they don't know how players. That's why you're starting to see like a more like if
like
you
a
look
Papa?
throughout, not like Papa, but like Jat. He's seen the game a lot. He that's why he transitioned fine. Papa, same thing. Look at I think even Jez's, who used to play for Fnatic, he now is a coach for SK. Like the transition of players that have been in the scene that have played, like even I think Soaz is a coach of a team now in EU Masters. When you have that, like a veteran player that's been in the scene and now can manage, it's better than like a Parth. Like I don't think Parth should be a GM, and I'm a TSM fan. I think what needs to happen is they need to just like they need to do like a GGS and just try to like get rid of players and just.
But that was a problem they had too, remember? They used to have a big problem with keeping players for a long time. That was one of their big things, keeping players that were way past their prime, like fucking... Like,
Stixate!
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was it Stixate, where like when you bring Dardoch in and he doesn't perform, and then like, because that was supposed to be hype, right? Like Dardoch...
No, Dardoch was playing with Stixate for sure.
That's when it all went downhill, is when CLG traded Xmithy for Dardoch. That's just when it
No,
went.
they were doing good.
Straight
though,
to the
they
gutter.
put Oh my God in. Remember they were
Okay,
like,
he's tripping.
first place?
This guy's
Where
on
is he now?
in the trash bin.
So
I
remember
think-
TLG was actually a good team with Dardock.
Yep.
And then they
He's
got Omar in and they tanked. They tanked
Sorry.
all the way.
Sorry, guys, I'm late. What are we talking about?
Oh my God.
All
Okay,
right,
we're
we
talking
only
about the
have to-
worst
Here, man.
organization.
Oh, the
I'm
worst organization in North America? Easily CLG.
Wow, I'm so happy you're here, Ravioli, because I want you to tell me what happened with the Rock in the top, with the EG and TL and the TL matchup. I want you to let me know what happened in that matchup, because that was a nice 3-0 that happened. I want you to let me know.
It's difficult for Impact to
Have an impact
be
in
the
the
rock
game.
at the top when the rest of his team is just losing so hard that all they have to do is put resources towards Alfari to dumpster the matchup, because their jungler just didn't have to do anything for all the other lanes.
But on that note, might as well cover it. So the LCS 2021 lock-in tournament to conclude it this weekend. No spoilers if you haven't watched it, because I don't know what rock you've been living under. Team Liquid won. So let's start with the 3-0. Team Liquid clapped EG. They put a giant fucking dildo up EG's ass and it destroyed them. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. The game, though most of the games weren't really close. Let's be honest here. Well, some were really close. It was more like no one ever really thought during the series that TL was gonna lose. You're like, okay, this is get to the finals already.
Interesting note, TL had not lost a game since getting Santorin on their roster.
Santorin the god, man. What are we gonna do about it?
Well, just completed their team.
Yeah.
Which puts the finals kind of into perspective, I'd like to say, a little bit.
Okay.
Well, we have to remember, Santorin only practiced for like 2 weeks before. He had to get back in with the team, get synergy.
Yeah. No, Santorin's really good. I don't think he's the best jungler in North America, but he's definitely up there. He's like probably number
Top
3 or 4.
I'd say
Four.
top 3.
He's definitely
I
top
think he's
10.
the best.
He's top 10.
I think he's
No. It's real easy to look really good as a jungler when you have like top 2 players at each position.
well. Okay, I'm gonna say he's top 3 because I think he actually, and this is not on recency bias. In his Worlds performance, he didn't jungle bad. Solo was just terrible. Like I think like he played pretty good. And think about who the junglers were in that group. And I'm like, okay, guy, you've been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
So I agree with you where you said he's not a number 1, but I definitely see him as a top 3.
I see him.
And
Here's why I go. All right, so among junglers, I think it's 1A, 1B for the 2 spots. I think they're about equals, Closer and Blabber. I think they're about equal. I think with Blabber having a little bit more upside, but not as consistent.
Aren't they about the same age anyway?
Closer's a little older.
A little bit older, yeah.
Blabber.
People forget how young Blabber still is. Like, he's going to improve because he's so young. Yeah. But yeah, no, TL looks really good. They look like the most complete team right now. They have the most development with each other. All they did was change out. Well, they changed out their top laner and their jungler from but their mid lane and bot lane have played together since last year. That's really important. Santorin has been around, and Alfari is just the best. Alfari is the best top laner in the LCS. So, and that's that is the island rule. So it's less important for your top laner to have synergy with the rest of your team because it's such a solo role.
All right, so let's go on to the series with 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. Cloud9 ended up reversing 100 Thieves. What do you guys think about this series? There was top gap. There was top gap in the series. I'm just
personally, that's Perks Factor. I'm gonna call that. That's Perks Factor. He's done that multiple times where you think, okay, this series is over. Even in the because I don't want to go into the next series, but it's just Perks is one of those guys is like, I'm not gonna give up. And he does crafty things like the back door that I think they won with a back door on or like a Twisted Fate play and like caught him off guard. It's like he's very methodical in what he's doing, and he's gonna try to win the best way. And that's what I will give Perks that credit.
Perks, I will say, over the course of this tournament, Perks has begun to look better and better as the tournament has gone on.
Mhm.
I think he's readjusting to being a mid laner for basically a year and a half, other
Yep.
than one split being a bot laner. I think by the time we're through, like halfway through spring split, I think we're going to see the solo carry dumpstering Perks again. It's just going to take a little bit.
I think it's going to be 1A and 1B as in Jensen and Perks are probably going to stay even.
Right.
I don't think.
I think if Perks actually gets back to his expected level of play from EU, he will be better than Jensen.
But he'll never destroy Jensen is the thing.
We've seen it before.
When?
Well, no, that was Caps. That was Caps. But here's my thing: is Perks and Caps were very close in skill level before they joined each other on G2. They were very close, and
no, I think Caps surpassed them like when during that the tournament.
I didn't say
the Summers play Caps styled them out of the building.
Well, we have to go back and watch those games.
Because normally Caps kept solo killing Perks out of lane.
I have to go rewatch the games. My impression for the games I watched of them too is yes, Perks was getting ahead, or Caps was getting ahead, but Caps got ahead against everybody, and it was not nearly a stomp that it was for every other matchup that year.
Well, yeah, but it's different play style anyway.
Yeah. Anywho, I have a rant that I'd like to get into involving Fudge.
What? Okay.
So I am so tilted about the two sides. The sides that say you completely excuse all of Perks's play and say simply, oh, it's fine, he's a rookie, it's fine, he does no wrong. And then the other side that says remove Fudge from the team, get him in there. And I'm just like, all right. So here's the thing: in the League of Legends community, people who watch esports, it's not a stretch to say that most of them probably don't watch a lot of traditional sports. They don't follow a lot of traditional sports leagues. It's just the demographics of gamers and people who just play video games and watch the LCS as their only form of sports competition. Where they don't realize that 18-year-old players in any sport are very raw. They have not reached the apex of their development yet. Yes? People saying, get rid of Fudge. This was a mistake.
Oh,
yeah. I just flash back and I just have this thought of, I wonder what these players imagine that mindset for like the Los Angeles Angels, the LA Angels.
They have fans
in baseball.
Shit, God.
In baseball with Mike Trout. Mike Trout, if he was put in Major League Baseball at 18 years old, would have got dumpstered on because he's 18 years old. That's just the way all the progression of rookies work in every single professional sport on the planet.
Well, I think the reason why
let me just finish this.
Okay, go ahead.
Development of players takes longer than 3 months in the professional league in order for them to begin to reach their potential. Here's the thing. Yes, Fudge had some really bad showings. He also had moments where you saw glimpses of what he could do. He had games where he did really well, and he had games where he made a lot of really good plays. He's a very young player. The goal for Fudge is to, over the course of the season, reduce his bad plays and to bring out more of those moments where he shines. And I'm just so tired of absolutely nobody in the League of Legends community having any nuance to fucking realize this.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
If Fudge was on CLG playing like that, would you have him would the same argument still exist for him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just making sure.
I can chime in though.
All rookies. This is all rookies, especially rookies that performed as well as they did in academy. It's like in baseball. players tend to really blow up in AAA, right?
Mhm.
And then they get brought up. They bat 330 with 24 home runs and 80 RBIs in the AAA league of baseball. They get brought up to the major leagues, and guess what? They don't put up those numbers. They go through cold streaks because they're playing against a different level of competition for the first time.
Yeah,
It happens in football. It happens in football as well.
Mhm.
Great offensive line talents can go up against people like J.J. Watt and Ndamukong Suh, all of these really, really good defensive ends, and they don't look great because guess what? This is the first time they've went up against competition like this. Who did Fudge play in the semi and finals of this tournament? Someday and Alfari. Guess what? The two best top laners in our league who are, in fact, very, very good. I think it's a complete overreaction to say that Fudge sucks and always will suck. That is my gripe.
Does anybody have any counter arguments before I go?
Yeah, but I think the reason why you can go first, bro.
No, go ahead, because I'm gonna be much longer.
No,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say the reason why people are saying that is because if you think about recent years in League of Legends, rookie talent usually performs early on. Think about it, most major regions, rookie players do perform most of the time.
Okay.
Like
Not all
look
the
at
time.
EU, look at Korea. Damwon performed, Griffin performed, the Mad Lions roster performed, Rogue performed.
What about
people are
Teddy?
just used to these rookies coming in and performing. I think that's why people are calling for his head.
Right, hold on. What about Teddy?
Teddy played amazing.
I remember
he played great in Jin Air. He played amazing.
Not all the time.
He was good.
He had a few bad games. He had a few bad games, but he was still insane. That's why T1 took him.
Right.
Well,
right. He had some bad games, but he also had really great games where he carried. Obviously, that ratio was skewed more towards good to bad than Fudge. But also remember, their developmental league is much more advanced than ours.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know, everyone knew Teddy was a beast. He was just getting held back by 4 scrubs on the same team.
Right, but with that guy's terrible.
So I just want to preface what I'm gonna say. I agree with Ravioli, but I'm gonna tell you why, and I don't, and I'm saying I agree with you on Fudge because I'll have my other points. So, like, couple things is he got hyped up by his own organization, right?
Yes.
Which is, to me, I don't agree with that, because now you're putting pressure on this guy to so that's not fair. And then what's gonna happen is you're like, oh man, he's gonna be a bullet. Now, granted, some players, like you said, can handle it, but here it goes to your point where it's like he's 18 and whatever. So I'm gonna give you the point of Abadage. There was Nemesis, Abadage, and Humanoid. Out of those two, Abadage was considered written off after 2 years. Like, they were thinking about trading him and whatever. Then Schalke gets the Schalke gets the miracle one. They're now calling him Faker Dage. He's playing good now. The problem is with NA2 as a region, they want instant results. They your C9, your TL. You're gonna be instant. Like you're gonna be good. Like the room for mistakes is not like there's no grace period, and that to me is unfair to players as well. So that's what happened. I saw Fudge, and I even told it up to when I was watching the game. I'm like, this guy's going up against Alfari, who's been to Worlds, Someday, I think he's been to. These guys have experience, like, regardless, and they've been playing longer. He's gonna have a hard time. If anything, this is really good for this guy. He's been in 2 best of 5s against the best top laners. Like, this is good.
Also, another thing is not an excuse, but it is something to consider for Fudge's performance. In every single series he was in, he was specifically targeted in every single match. Every single match, 100 Thieves and TL specifically drafted their team comp and their game strategy to put as many resources in the top lane as possible. And I don't think Cloud9 did a good enough job at trying to neutralize that.
Okay.
Like for instance, in game 5, after
you're talking about the 100 series, right?
No.
I mean,
TL.
we can talk about both, but it doesn't matter. So let's go to TL win. Okay.
Because we're talking about Fudge as a whole right now.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So in game 5, they started out with the wave. He got a little aggressive and took a tower shot, or actually 2 tower shots, while trying to press his advantage. This put him behind. He had to go back, and then he had to back. What happened? Okay, Santorin was immediately topside to help Alfari just win the lane. My thing is, Blabber, why are you not there to prevent this play? Because if you're not there, the game is over.
Well, to be fair, I really did. I liked that Malphite game when they just made him sack his lane and made him a hard bot.
I thought that's well, I thought that's what they were gonna do in game 5. Like, yeah, he had a good game in game 4, but like, I would not have put all that trust into him in a game 5. Honestly, if they really wanted to win, they should have not have put all that into game 5 for Fudge. You should have probably drafted something different bot lane, something different in the jungle, something different in mid lane. You should have pretty much made Perks, Blabber, Vulcan, or Sven the centralized carry. Like, he had a good pop-off game, which is fine, because, like, he excels at 2 champions, Camille and Aurelia. But that's not good enough consistently to, win series right now.
Right, so far. Well, the thing is, I don't think Cloud9, I think Perks, no, it was Vulcan himself. No, it was Sven. Sven said, we don't really care about winning or losing this. This is all about, they treated this as glorified scrim games. I'm pretty sure that game 5 pick was an attempt for the organization to signal to Fudge that we're not just going to have you be a weak spot we have to cover up. We want you to become a strength for us. We're putting our strength in you to build confidence. I'm pretty sure.
Now this is what I wanted to say.
I feel they picked.
Yeah, go ahead, Weather.
I was gonna say, I think they picked Aurelia game 5 because he just popped off on it on game 4.
But that's still putting too much. But that's still like you're putting all of it into him in game 5, though. Like I was just gonna say maybe he just got it happens
better now than later.
Yeah. He had a bad game. Yes, he did. He got super aggressive. What ended that lane was the fact that he took 2 tower shots on the initial trade of the lane when he was chasing down Alfari. If he doesn't do that, the lane is completely fine, and it's probably just a farm lane for a little while.
So because in that game you're talking about, even when Blabber tried to come help him, he would take constantly too many gangplank cues, and then when they tried to do something, he was too low, so he couldn't even capitalize on it.
Right, because Alfari, because of the advantage he got from that small misplay of getting slightly aggressive, was able to snowball the lane and keep him away from levels and gold. That's how that happened. That entire thing was not him getting completely dumpstered the entire time play-wise. It was he got behind really poorly in the first lane, part of the laning phase, and from then on, he could do nothing. It didn't matter who you put up there. Once he was, at like 12 to 32 CS to start the lane, a level down.
He got traded, and then Santorin ganked him. Then he had to TP back. Then he got almost too aggressive again. Then he flashed away. Then they ganked him again. And then Blabber and Burst came up, and then, they fucking failed at their gank, and then the game was already over at that point. Literally.
Yeah. I'm just saying, my criticism is, at that point, I wanted to see the rest of Cloud9 and match the aggression, because the entire series is about top lane. You need to match their aggression up there if you want to have a chance to win that, if you pick Aurelia. That's my entire point.
The Fudge made platinum level mistakes, man. He should know that matchup.
The issue
he shouldn't be taking like 10 Qs in a row.
So my issue with the things you brought up. So for me personally, I think most people could potentially understand that he could improve, and I'm not ever saying he can't improve. But as of right now, he was playing very poorly. As of right now, for what I've just seen, he was playing bad. But I can't sit here and lie to you, man. It's like, well, you know what? He played good, but his team failed him. because
No,
you
no, no, no,
because
no.
you get into a point where you start making excuses, and I don't want to do that personally. You know.
Well, no, it's not like an excuse for Fudge. It's a criticism for the whole team.
And no,
Because-
that's fine. No,
But
and that's
how
fair.
is it?
Right. And here's the thing. And this is the last point I want to bring up
Mhm.
to calm the waters on the Fudge hate. Is we have another really good player on Cloud9 right now who had similar issues when he first started playing. You know what his name is?
And
Blabber. Blabber. Do you remember how Blabber made extremely aggressive plays when he first started playing for Cloud9, which would often lead to pointless deaths and setting C9 behind? He
I still
absolutely did that. He absolutely did that. A lot of times people were calling for Blabber to get benched.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, but guess what he turned into? A top 2 jungler in North America. That's what he is right now.
My thing is that with them having perks now, because they can say whatever they want on their own, their own social media platforms. That's their own right. Vulcan came out and said, "Oh, it was support. It was it was definitely not support gap in these series." If anybody watches this video or anybody watching this past weekend and said it was support gap between anything of those last 2 series, you don't talk to me about League of Legends. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No.
It was not support
Obviously-
gap. Obviously, Vulcan did that because it's just defend his teammate. Obviously.
Yeah, it's his teammate.
But now that you have Perks on your team, Perks has a way of doing things where if Perks feel like they want a better top laner, it doesn't matter what we personally think about them, they might get into top laner. And I don't mean this year. Obviously, I'm talking about the 2021 offseason. That's at the end of the year, after Worlds and shit.
If Fudge goes the entire year without showing improvement, yes, that's a thing. But I'm saying this was a pre-season tournament. This is a pre-season tournament. This is not the regular split. This is glorified scrims right now. That's what this is. I want to see his improvement over the course of spring split. That's what I want to see because that's what actually matters.
Oh, Blue, are you here? Blues.
Listen, I'm not saying that he played well. I'm not even saying that he played okay. I'm saying yes, he had really bad games, but he also had games where he played really well. Like his Gragas game was against 100 Thieves, where he was just making really good Gragasult after really good Gragasult.
Would you attribute this to nerves then?
Nerves, maybe, or maybe it's just that he's not used to his opponents, particularly playing a certain way. He's maybe at this point used to academy players, where he can get away with the more aggressive things that he's done, but he's learned and is slowly learning that he can't play like that anymore. He's gonna have to adjust his play style.
So the thing you brought up about Perks was during the whole tournament, I never, maybe outside of one game, was anybody really thinking to themselves whoa, Perks needs to get benched. This guy just got gapped in mid lane.
No.
But that never happened with Perks.
He just played
was underwhelming.
okay.
He just got underwhelming. That's pretty much all it is.
Well, against TL, he played Jensen pretty easy.
He wasn't getting gapped mid lane. He was doing overall just fine.
No. Jensen got better mid laners is the thing. He got better picks into their matchup. Like Syndra versus TF in lane, the TF is not going to do well.
But Dan Perks picked the TF before he picked before Jensen.
Yeah, it's a blind pick, and TL countered it.
Let's
Like-
see.
Well, the thing is though, TF you play him for his roaming, not his lane.
Right, that's true. But here's the thing: when your top side is super far behind, because your team, Alfari is just better than Fudge at the moment, and that's not going to change until potentially the end of summer split. He needs to go on a training arc. He needs to level up. That's a fact. But my entire thing is, some people want to act like he can't and he won't.
No,
And
I'm saying that series, dude, Perk should have taken the role as the main carry because the bot lane was evenly matched. Alfari was winning top. So it was up to Perk.
Blabber's matching Santorin. It's pretty much, if Fudge was able to at least be like what Impact used to be, a serviceable top laner, they most likely could have also still won the series.
Right. Here's the thing: you can't expect him to be Impact what 6, 7 games.
But he's not a
into
rookie
his
though. He's
professional
not.
career.
He's not really a
have
rookie
taken a
though.
bigger
Because
role.
he's been to Worlds before. Like he's not really a rookie,
Right,
quote
and
unquote.
for Oceania, in Oceania,
But he's been to Worlds.
that
That's
is
different,
essentially Oceania is basically North American Academy.
though. Oh God.
Well,
I'm sorry, it is.
Hey,
totally
Blue,
lost
you
my
gonna
train
defend
of thought.
yourself here?
Me?
Yeah, Blue, where you
Blue's
at?
here.
Oh,
Oh,
blue. I don't know.
Blue's
You gonna
here.
protect
Blue's
your
there just for the image. Blue's there just for the image. All right, Warren.
But-
what did you want to say, Warren?
I totally forgot. So on could go. I just
Oh
totally
God.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
ranting right now because I've been so pissed off about people on Twitter and YouTube comments just talking like they don't understand.
I just don't want
'Cause,
people getting into the scene where they're just making excuses, for him.
I got it back in my head.
It's not
Okay.
an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's justification why we shouldn't just immediately try to bench him because that's foolish.
Warren? Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a little slower. Okay, so I see Fudge. The nice thing I know watching with C9 and what teams are doing across most regions is they're mixing rookies with veterans, and you can see it how now. I wouldn't be surprised if more veterans are like being incorporated, because like if you look at TL's roster, they're outside of like what tactical that this is basically his sophomore season, right? They're pretty veteran, and the thing about Fudge is he's in top lane. It's not like tactical that has Core JJ to kind of mentor him.
Yeah.
So like he's gonna need game, like just being in the games, whereas Core JJ's like, hey, you do this tactical, you do that tactical. So it might actually take him a little longer. Having a longer season is actually gonna help him too as well. So and him being young is actually good.
Yeah.
So overall, I think again, it NA syndrome, where you want instant S and it's terrible. Like they like it's like look at the Cleveland Browns. Like people are asking for like Baker Mayfield to like leave, and I'm like, yo, bro, when's the last time the Cleveland Browns won a playoff game?
When's
let
the last time the
alone had a
Browns did
winning
it?
record.
Right.
Chill out with trying to chill out with trying to
Oh,
get rid of the quarterback. That don't make any sense.
I compare this to, let's say, a baseball team has a really highly touted rookie prospect who's getting called up to the majors, right? But they're in preseason right now. Say they have a bad spring training. And then off that spring training, you go, well, this guy clearly is garbage. We should just get rid of this, 5-star prospect because he performed poorly in a tournament that did not matter.
Yeah. Now, also to be fair, people have to kind of factor in this was a NA version of Kespa and Demacia Cup. Like I remember years where like a Freak of Freaks would win these, and freaking Vici Gaming, that worthless fucking Oregon LPL, them winning it.
Hey.
And then, hey, let's be honest here, they don't really do anything in the regular season. But to be fair, at least here, the bright side of this is, at least he got a chance to have this experience right now and these issues right now. Then maybe during the spring split where it's going to be harder to make them work, know?
Yeah.
So
I would say let's see him against competition that isn't Impact, Someday, or Alfari. Let's see how he does against the more middling top laners in the league. Because I can totally see him
Didn't he face
having
he faced Hooney?
Personally, I want him to
God.
continuously see them, honestly, because the thing is, like, what's that saying? When you learn to lose, when you've lost hard, you know how to win better.
Right.
So
right. I agree.
So I'm okay with him constantly going up against Licorice and Someday and Alfari, because like, let's be honest, like I've seen Fudge before. He can handle Finn. He can handle the other, like, Revenge, and maybe Niles might, but Niles is questionable because he has a small champion pool when you really think about it. But I think the milling impact would do fine. I prefer for him to get Dumpster. I prefer for him to, and not Dumpster in a bad way, be like, okay, I need to level up every time. I'm leveling up. This is a real game, so I don't mind.
It's development, and like I said, it's my biggest issue with the league community is that they don't
Did I call it?
understand.
Did I not call that? Did I not call it and say, well, once these rookies start performing bad, people are gonna want them gone? I even said it. I even said, hey,
No, you did. And guess what? It's still the wrong mindset.
it's bad. I was just saying, people didn't change the way I thought they were gonna change.
Right.
You know?
Right. Joe, do you watch other professional sports?
Yeah, I watch NBA and NFL actually. Now names.
NFL.
Names.
NBA is a little bit different because
Yes.
of the nature of the sport.
Yeah.
Rookies will tend to come in, but even like the highest touted rookies tend not to be superstars in their first season. They tend to
I remember
average 20 points a game.
You watch football, right? Remember when Michael Vick? Because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Remember when Michael Vick got benched? He's just so fucking bad. They brought on Nick Foles, and then later on they had a really good record. The next year he got hurt. He had his neck hurt. Then later on in 2017 they won a Super Bowl, and they gave him a chance. They gave him one chance, and then he got him a Super Bowl.
You know, or remember, oh god, Josh Allen.
Oh shit.
For Josh Allen was not good for the Buffalo Bills for 2 years. For 2 years he was a below average quarterback, and then what happened?
What if Fudge is James Harden? What if Fudge is James Harden? Oh my god, he's gonna be a choke artist. Oh my god, James Harden's a fucking choker.
You understand what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Josh Allen became a top 5 quarterback in the league, but he just needed time. My thing is, people will say, "Oh, but rookies kind of tend to do this a lot in esports," and I'm like, I think that's just because we develop players in League of Legends incorrectly. Because I look at every other professional sport on the planet, and they do it differently, and it ends up with most of the highly touted prospects end up turning to be either pretty decent to good to amazing, depending on the player themselves. I just don't feel like the League of Legends esports community, who don't watch other sports, they just don't understand the fundamentals of player development.
I'm going to disagree with you. I really think it's an NA thing. I don't, because the thing is
yeah, sure.
The way the reason why I say NA, and I'm not even trying to just bash NA. When I watch and I hear the analysts, they're like, "Oh, this guy is a development rookie," compared to they're like, "This guy's hype. He's gonna pop." Like, come on, dude. Like, you're setting this guy to fail. Like, what are you doing? And it's whereas okay, they see they put these rookies in, and look at Vitality, for instance, just as an example. Melita's a mid laner, and they're 1-4, but they know the guy has talent, and it's gonna take maybe another split or two or whatever where they want this. It's sometimes it's organizations too, and I'm not saying C9 is the culprit. I don't think C9 is the culprit in this at all.
They could be both. But
it's sometimes the organization. It's like, come on, dude. Let the guy just let them play. Relax. And again, it's an NA thing because I've seen it in other people have this win now mentality. You can't win now. Sometimes you have to lose for a while to get good. I said, you look at the
Eagles.
Cleveland Browns. They were a pretty bad team. Pretty bad. Even last year where they had Odell and they had Landry fine. They were supposed to make the playoffs. They didn't. And they finally did. And now people are
because
it's just weird.
Yeah, because they added more offensive line talent. They shored up their defense, and guess what? Baker Mayfield had another year under his belt, and he became a much better quarterback than he was before. I just don't feel like most of the NA Reddit and analysis community have a fundamental understanding how player development works across sports.
Dude, let's be honest here.
And they want to pretend that esports is just fundamentally different in that regard when I don't think it is. Every single other game goes by that progression of rookie talent, especially baseball, which is probably the closest physical sport in regards to player development to esports, because baseball is very much a skill-based game, not a physical intense game. It's all about reaction time. It's all about pitch selection. It's all about all that stuff. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, and a Hall of Fame player known as Joey Votto did
I
not.
know him.
Yeah, he did not enter the league of the National League as a player until he was 27 years old, 28 years old. He needed that much time to develop, and guess what happened when he finally got into the league? He is a first ballot Hall of Famer at this point. Sometimes it takes players a little while to develop into that. Thing is, if Cloud9 thinks with the hearts of hearts that Fudge will be a great top laner, he's just not quite there yet. I'm willing to believe it. He just needs time, is all I'm saying.
Do you need a hug?
Me? No, Fudge needs a hug because he's getting flamed by everyone.
I think he has the nice thing that is that he's in a good org that can support him, and he's surrounded by think about who he's surrounded by, right? He's surrounded by people that have failed on the biggest stage. Perks getting 3-0'd, Sven causing the Ezreal, where he just went in and Ian and like people. So I'm sure after that series that they had and other games, I'm sure they sat down and be like, hey man, and that's what's great of having that support system. And C9's a good org, and I know they're the sports psychologist will help them too, because it's a lot of pressure. So I think he's gonna be fine. It's just we have a monkey region for people that don't know don't know anything. So
Dude,
that's
like,
just that.
Up to me, I'll hear the fucking yeah.
I think Fudge's goal by the end of the spring split should be the 5th or 4th best top laner in NA. That should be his goal for the spring split. He should develop till he's above half of the league. And then in summer split, he should make a real push to get to top 3 maybe. He's not going to be better than Someday or Afari by the end of this year. I think that's unreasonable to ask any rookie. But he just needs to develop to the point where he can hold his own. Because here's the thing about Cloud9 versus TL as a matchup. I don't think TL's players are going to improve the same way that Cloud9's players are going to improve by their current skill level. Because it looks like they're already sort of gelling in a mid-season form. Besides like Vulcan and Sven, the rest of the team sort of needs to get back into the groove of things. I think Cloud9's potential for growth is so much higher. And that was a close series. Cloud9 lost in a game 5 against a team that did not lose a game with their current roster until that point.
It was just
Cloud9,
because during the series, I never really thought it's hard because TL played really well in that series too, though.
Yeah, they did.
Because
I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna say Alfari's gangplank is just nasty.
But at least with the LCS 2021 spring split starting, at least we know we have some good teams this year, and it's the level of competition did improve. I guess I was wrong. I mean, it's hard to say if I was really wrong about it because it's still so early on into the year. It's only just February. But looking at it right now, we have C9, Team Liquid, Hunter Thieves, and Evil Geniuses. Now, I hope TSM can get to the point where they're on this level, but
I mean, I think the S tier teams are obviously TL, C9, 100 Thieves, and then I think EG is an A tier team, and then I think we have quite a few B tiers. The only F tier teams I think are CLG and probably Golden Guardians.
Oh, we got to redo that tier list.
I don't know. I think Dig is F tier, man.
Yeah,
Dig is
I think we have 3 F tier teams, and then everyone else is at least a B. Everyone else showed games of competitiveness and in great growth from last year. I don't think it's debatable that just by going for this preseason tournament, which take it a grain of salt, it's preseason.
How much salt though?
Everyone just looks better.
How much salt though? A little packet of salt or a salt shaker?
So you know those little packets of salt you get at like McDonald's?
Yeah.
That much salt. That
Okay.
much salt.
That's not a lot of salt though. That's not a lot.
That's not. That's not.
Mhm.
It's not because I think it's fairly evident that the teams are just better. They're
Mhm.
better coordinated. The skill level seems to be better. A lot of the other rookies, Fudge had some rough games. He had some good games, but a lot of the other rookies had pretty decent showings.
Mhm.
Palafox really bounced back after the initial group round. I thought
Kind
he wasn't exactly great. He wasn't great, but he wasn't a detriment to his team.
Mm. What was it? Diamond,
yeah.
Iconic, Niles. I don't know. The FlyQuest rookies so far, they're gonna need a lot. Like they played worse than Fudge did. I'm not saying something because Fudge played bad, but it's like these guys are really bad.
Right, because they're rookies.
Yeah.
They're going to improve in every single major competitive sports league. Rookies will almost always struggle early, and I'm sorry, League of Legends is not special in this regard. The theory of player progression will hold up between these sports because there's really no reason why it wouldn't.
That's this one guy.
I mean, does everyone disagree with that point?
Give me 1 sec. I'll be ready.
I don't disagree with that at all. Oh, sorry, just old man body.
Yeah. Closing statement. Yeah, Fudge had some bad games. He had some games where he also did really well. He needs to improve.
And don't listen to LS.
Don't listen to LS. LS looks at the entire North American region and says they all need to be replaced. So guess what?
He needs to get a donkey and get raped by that donkey. Like, I hate that dude. Fuck him.
LS is
Sorry.
fine. He's funny, but
God.
I mean, he could be funny, but now this is my rant on LS, right?
Oh, Lord.
This man has a problem when it comes to recognizing Western players only, and even then when they win, this guy just does like, the enemy team drafted bad. Like, bro, you can't just say they won. Okay, for instance, like when I'm thinking at the Fnatic, Fnatic through the TS World thing. LS is talking. I'm like, yo, dude, you're just you're a Korean cocksucker. Like, you're real. Like, that's really what you are. Like, and he can be funny. Like, I can say the man's funny, but when it comes to acknowledging Western players, I don't know why. It's like he wishes he was born Asian. Like, I really think so.
He does,
honestly.
Well, I don't blame him. From his own words, his time in North America, in America, growing up was like the worst time of his life. And in Korea, his life has improved dramatically. He feels Korea is his new home because he's happy there.
Well, he's been there for like 10 years too.
Here's what I'll say about LS. Now, I don't hate the guy personally. I think a lot. He's very smart about the game, and I like listening to him most of the time. But what I avidly disagree is he thinks of League of Legends in this perfect world where it's like, it's never gonna be that way. Teams are gonna miss draft. Teams are gonna not ban out a certain thing in certain rotations. Players are gonna miss a wave, and that's not the worst thing ever. It's like he tries to make these big glaring things the issue, and it's like teams can mess up in draft, dude. It happens, dude. None of us are perfect.
They're human. Guess what? Even in the best region, their players make mistakes like that all the time.
Players can mismanage dude, I'm pretty sure all of us have mismanaged waves and gotten dumpstered by a dude but it's not like, it happens. It just happens. And I think that he overblows these let's be honest here. Someone could fucking mismanage a wave, and that's what he kind of likes to focus on. That person could still end up winning the game because his other 4 key teammates carry him. Yeah. Like, it's just how the game works, though. It's like, my thing with League of Legends, this is a closing statement because I had to get to another show, my main channel. You could be like Diamond at the game and give an actual opinion that's pretty logical and valid, and people still disagree. That's just how League is. Like I told you, that's just how the game is. People just don't agree with anything. This is how it is.
No, they don't.
You just come to agree to disagree, which is fine. You don't want to have sheep, obviously, but you also kind of have to factor in when you're drafting for a team. Yeah, you would have taken Renekton first rotation, but what if your top laner is not good at Renekton? Then that is not an option. That's not what he thinks about. That's the problem with his analysis. Like, it's like me. It's like, if all of us were on a team, and I'm like, hey, Warren, all right, so you need can we pick Gnar here? Warren's like, I did.
No, I'm gonna pick Taric top.
Oh no, cuz I gotta pick Taric, cuz. I'm like, what? Why can't you play Gnar? Bruh, Taric's the sexiest motherfucker around here. I gotta pick the Taric top lane. Fuck. You see the point there? It's like he doesn't understand that he's not even in the drafting with these teams. Why is Doran stuck on Aatrox? Because the coaches think that's their best shot at winning. It's not that they can't pick him anything else. And people have to stop thinking this. These guys are pros. They can play anything. They literally can fucking play Taric mid and probably carry their ass to Challenger. You know
Power of Evil was an example. He played Lucian. He played everybody's like he's your control mage player, but he played Lucian and he popped off for TS. I'm like,
you guys can literally play anything. There's no like they can only play this champion. No, it's whatever makes sense in the composition. So I adamantly disagree with LS about, oh yeah, why did they take Aatrox in this rotation? Why did they balance this champion? Because they just didn't. That's why. Why doesn't he get laid? Because he just doesn't. There's your answer. Why am I not having sex right now? Because I'm not. You see my point there?
Be Furious a bisexual.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, he even said it on.
Oh, Blue,
I was watching one of his streams, and he literally said, "Oh, a guy walked. A guy walked in."
That Master Swag King's not having sex right now.
Are you sure?
Have you seen? His camera hasn't been gone down. You know.
Wait, what?
I can only see your face. I don't know what's going on underneath. You know, like something sus could be going on here. I don't know.
Hey,
I actually had a question though.
Yeah, and then we gotta go.
No, I think it's. I was gonna ask, when does the season officially start?
This weekend,
We got
right?
this week.
Tomorrow.
No, the day.
Oh,
day.
By the way, everyone
No,
in
not tomorrow,
here
the day after tomorrow.
in the C9FanCast official fantasy league, make sure to set your lineups.
Didn't we already do that?
Also,
No.
you have El Clasico this week. C9 versus TSM. Warren, can't wait to destroy you again.
I'm just gonna be I'm a loyal fan. I'm a loyal fan, so I'm gonna root for my team. Like, it went to a 3-game series. Like, let's be real on this. And I know you gotta go. Out of a best of 3 series for the first round, they were the only team to go 3 games, and it was against C9. So I think that's promising enough for me. So
Yeah. C9, as not their full potential yet, took
neither is TSM.
took TL, who looks to be, I think this is about as they're much closer to their final form than C9 is. They're much closer to that than C9 is, and C9 still took them to 5 games.
Oh, what the heck? All right, sorry about that.
All that needed to happen for C9 to have a much better chance to win that game was not banning out Gragas because they had first pick in the second phase, and just pick Gragas. That's all they had to do, I think.
And with that being said, we had a great show tonight. I will see you guys later. Anything else you guys want to say? Really quick. Also, shout out to Chevy for sponsoring this show. I'm just kidding. They don't sponsor shit for me.
I'm just gonna say I'm excited for the season to start. That's about it.
Right? Yeah.
Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Book. Me and the boys are doing old school Yu-Gi-Oh!
You doing Go format? Or you're doing Go format?
No, what we're doing is this thing, right? So we opened a box of the first 3 sets, right? And now we're making.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Each open a box.
Yeah.
So we get into it. We make the next with that, and then about every month from here on out, we are going to open the next box and add those to our card pools. If anyone wants to get in on it, we have open registration. I want to get a 12-man league.
Yeah, I play Duel Links a ton.
Really? I love Duel Links, dude.
Awesome. This is Dueling Book.
Yeah,
every single card. Every single card in history is available for you to make a deck with.
Oh, I can play broken shit like Pot of Greed.
Wait, hey,
does
Matt,
anybody?
Yeah. If you open the pots, you get to play it.
Does anybody know what Pot of Greed does?
Yeah.
Gotcha cards.
Cards, baby.
No, you're supposed to get laid when you play Pot of Greed. What's wrong with you guys? All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. Thank you to Chevy and X Videos for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, okay, we're getting some interesting sponsors here now.
X Video sponsoring Asakura fucking C9FanCast.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, dude, imagine if
porn stars came and started talking about League. Oh my god. I'd be like, they'd be like, oh, C9's the best team. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Fudge is the best. Fudge is the best top laner. You're right.
Get more of that Shremick and Jersey stuff.
See you guys later. Bye. Peace.
All right, take care, man.